Hello, everyone. I am excited to be here. I am Maggie Sarfo, and my passion is enabling individuals and leaders to explore new ways of being, new ways of leading, and new ways of growing exponentially. And this growth can be either themselves, their own personal development, or it could be a business. So today we're talking about emotional resilience for the holidays. Now, emotions are all around us. And so I keep saying it's best for us to make them work for us and not against us. So let's start by doing some icebreakers, shall we? I would love for you to share in the chat for us what emotions you really love during this time of the year. What emotions do you really love? Can't wait to read them. What emotions do we really like? Joy, love, gratitude, connectedness. Thank you. Peaceful, excitement, anticipation, appreciation, gratitude. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing those. And yes, those are lovely, lovely emotions. Please keep them coming. But I'm going to also ask the other side of the coin because we all live in this thing called balance. And so the other side is also very true in most instances. So, what emotions do we not like, especially during this time of the year? What emotions do we not like? Sadness. Thank you. Tension, anger. Thank you. Jealousy, anxiety, feeling left out, anxiety, sadness. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So, yes, we can all see fear, sadness, anxiety, anger. Yes. Thank you for sharing. So, we know that emotions, like I said, they're all around us. Um, we tend to classify emotions as good or not good, depending on how we feel. And our guidance is always our internal antenna, right? It tells us whether something is off or something is on, and on meaning really good. So, what is emotional resilience? Emotional resilience, like I've been saying, is our ability to be able to distinguish the emotions that serve and support us and emotions that do not serve and support us so that we can make a decision and act in a way that supports us as well as others. Now, sometimes we describe emotions as good or bad, and that in itself can actually take us down a spiral hole during these times. And so I personally feel that sometimes some emotions, even if we consider them as not good, are meant to be experienced. And so, the best way of dealing with emotions, especially the ones that do not serve us, is to allow them to pass through us. And it's a good way of us really being curious. A good way of dealing with such emotions is being curious about them. And when we are curious about them, it allows us the strength, the grace, and the acceptance of them so that we can transition and choose the emotion or the feeling that we really want. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to talk us through the whole idea of emotional resilience, and then I'll talk us through a very simple tool that hopefully we can use over this time and enjoy this time of the year to the best of our ability, and also make sure that it ripples out. This good feeling that we are able to cultivate within ourselves can spread out to other people as well, because that is also very important. And the more we can cultivate emotional resilience and positive emotions within ourselves, it has that ripple effect of being able to spiral to other people around us, in our neighborhoods, and we can also send this emotion into the world as well. So it's really important. So in a way, I've kind of shared why it's important for us to cultivate resilience, or emotional resilience, especially during those times. But how do we know that we are emotionally resilient? Could be a question that you may be asking. And it comes back to your own antenna. You know that you are emotionally resilient when perhaps, let's take our minds back to some of what Lolita was saying. What are the triggers, that happens when you are in the company of your family and loved ones around this time? And if, the last year something triggered you not in the right way, and this time they said something and you were like, water off the back or something like that, they say, that shows that somehow you have become more resilient than the last time, right? So how you react, how you act in situations when you are emotionally triggered shows you whether you are becoming more resilient or not. And so always come back to yourself and see how you feel. And if you don't feel right about something, then absolutely we need to do something about that. But we have the power within us to cultivate resilience and to help ourselves and others, during these times. Absolutely. So Diane is saying it's all about self-aware, and that is absolutely right. Yes, absolutely. So when do we need to be more aware? Diane just took the words out of my mouth. When do we need to be more self-aware about our own emotional resilience? Um, Definitely during these times, right? Holiday times, when we come together, you know, we need to be more emotionally aware and more emotionally resilient. Other times could be moments of importance, right? So for instance, Alex was talking earlier on about, career choices, maybe going for interviews. Those are moments of importance. Maybe you're about to get on the stage to speak. Those are moments of importance. And when we are not more aware of our own emotions and our ability to be resilient during those times, it could blow us to the other side rather than where we really want to be. And then a third area where we need to be more aware of our emotional resilience will be moments of conflict. And again, during these times of the year, moments of conflict sometimes abound. And I always say that, in spite of it all, the reasons why the people who are closest to us could be the most challenging sometimes are because, we chose them for a reason, or they chose us for a reason, and we are meant to help each other grow, right? So keep that in mind, and also keep that in mind that sometimes some people actually act in a certain way, not knowing, but actually it does help us to really become more aware of ourselves and grow in that process. And that is why this tool is going to support you, during these times, and make sure that the holidays become your best holiday ever. So, what is the tool? It's as simple as this. Say you're about to sit around the table, for dinner, and so everyone is around the table, or maybe you're about to watch your favorite holiday movie, or whatever it is that you do during these times. Make sure that before you settle into whatever space you're settling in, and Lolita shared some of this as well, make sure you ask yourself, where is my mind? And then take a deep breath in, breathe out, and then ask yourself, where is my heart? And doing this simple thing will bring you into a more center space. You become more aware, you come back into yourself a bit more. And if, before you were going to sit down, you were thinking about something else, or you were thinking about something that happened before, as soon as you ask this question, where is my mind and where is my heart? Take a deep breath and bring yourself back into the present, because not being able to recognize yourself in the present sometimes does not allow us to recognize that maybe someone has changed. Maybe they did something bad the last time, but maybe they have changed, but we may not give them the reason to be their better self this time during the holidays if we don't bring ourselves into the present moment and also become our best state. So now you've brought your mind and your heart into this space. And then I would like you to take a deep breath. And then if something happens, someone says something that triggers you, before you act, or before you take it into your mind and think about anything, just ask yourself, how do I feel? And if you can, name that emotion, right? And practice that with yourself, even if you're not triggered by anything. Even if you're feeling good, it's good to practice it so that when it happens at a time when you're not feeling good, you'll be able to notice it as well. And it becomes like a habit, right? So let's take this scenario though, that someone has said something. Just ask yourself, how do I feel? Name the emotion. Take a deep breath again. And then ask yourself, is this a good feeling? And if it's a good feeling, if the answer is yes, take a deep breath and then amplify that feeling. And as you amplify that feeling, spread it around you, spread it to the people around you, and it will help amplify this good feeling. Let's assume when you asked yourself, how do I feel? The answer was no. Or is this a good feeling? The answer was no, it was not a good feeling. So again, name the emotion if you can. For instance, um, you know, you feel angry. And then ask yourself, how do I want to feel instead? And if you like to feel more peaceful, just take a deep breath and intend a peaceful feeling. So I intend to be peaceful. I'm not saying you're just going to snap out of the angry feeling immediately, but intend it anyway. And so intend this feeling before you take an action. Maybe you are going to be responding to what someone has said. You're going to be making a decision, based on what has happened. But set that intention of the feeling that you want before you take the action or you make that decision. And as you keep practicing this tool over and over again, it becomes a habit that you are able to tap into how you feel, amplify the good feelings, and able to tap into how you feel. If it's not a great feeling, set an intention. But I always say that in the midst of it all, even if you're not able to choose a higher vibrational feeling for yourself, choose the word acceptance, choose the feeling of acceptance. And the more you can choose acceptance, it's going to enable you to be where you are, bring yourself into that present moment. And then over time, you can cultivate a habit to choose a positive or higher vibrational feeling that you'd like to feel. Okay, so I hope this is useful. And I want to use this as an opportunity to wish everyone a fabulous holiday. But before I go, the gift that I'm offering today is a downloadable gift. It's called Cultivating Positive Emotions. And that will be coming up shortly. It's in your chat now. Thank you. And I do have an offer too in the prize that will be coming out as part of the draw for everyone who has attended the session as well. So I would say emotions are all around us. Emotions are meant to be felt and experienced, and then from there we can choose the emotions that we want. But imagine yourself as an oak tree, and you can always allow emotions to pass through you. And if it's not a great emotion, the fact that you can allow it to pass through you allows you to choose acceptance. And from there, you can move on to the next one. And based on this, you'll be able to enjoy the holidays and create more and more of your own resilience within yourself and deal with life from now on.